Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. So, West Ham, 93rd minute winner for Manchester United. Miles offside as well. Miles offside. As always, we're here giving you all the debrief, talking about the game. What do you think? What were your views? You know, obviously, we had the starting lineup. For the starting lineup, we looked strong. That was our starting lineup. I thought we looked strong from the start. Areola obviously starting, as well as, you know, Zouma and Souček. Bench was not particularly great. Man United, their bench pretty much made a difference. And I thought, and I think that was the view of most of us when we were talking about it. What do you guys think? I'm sitting here like, I can't even believe that it was an offside. That it wasn't given offside. I just don't understand it. Matt puts his little video in here. His picture. Where's his picture? It's on Twitter already. It's on Twitter. How is that not offside? How is that not offside? How has that been VAR'd? The only thing I can think of is where they've taken the line from. If they've taken the line from the feet, then he's not offside. But it's isn't it the farthest? Oh, I don't know. Fuming. And I don't get angry. I don't usually get angry. Right, I need to quickly change this to a settings because I can't get anyone's general. So I know people are making comments and I can't see the comments yet because I need to do that. So no, I need to change this quickly. Sorry, peeps. I'm going to sort this out straight away for everybody so they can all come on into studio, edit, go to public. There we go. So I was just couldn't get anyone's bloody messages on there. So hopefully I'll start getting some messages on there soon. Oh man, fuming.com. I'm fuming. Absolutely fuming, man. Absolutely fuming. What we got here? Looked offside. We had enough chances. That performance sums up Moyes. Good defensive, but not brave enough in attack. I think the sub he made, I think he was. You know, I think he went for it. You know, he did go for it. But why Moyes didn't use the subs in the end, I don't know. I always say it. Losing fair and square, I can take it. Losing like this really pisses me off. Shocking team, particularly first half. I think it was sickening. I've had enough of these refs. This is meant to be the Premier League. Why we just ain't good for the last 3 months. Huge offside doesn't surprise me. I know goal looked offside, but we were poor. But I think defensive, I think going there and getting a draw would have been a fair result. I always think I was screaming to take Souček off of Vlasic. There we go. It was clearly offside, then questions need to be asked. The only thing I was looking at that picture, Matt, the one you sent round, was where's the line? Where do they take the line? Is it from the furthest part of the body, apart from the arm, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah. So, but shoulder count. Yeah. So, from what I would say, it's very, very tight. Like it's
surely
I'm trying to look at an angle of it.
It's surely tight for VAR to at least.
And you know what the thing is, if they showed the lines and then gone, no, look, he's onside, and it's one of them toe now offside onside things. Fair enough.
Because if
you check it.
Because if you look at it again, so if I go, let me go. So if you look at it, so you know you've got Chris. Is that Cresswell? So Cresswell, his left toe could be.
It's very, very tight, right?
It's very tight,
and he might be onside.
Yeah.
However,
I don't know. Just fuming. When we started the game poorly, we ended the game poorly. There was a bit in the middle, I think, in the second half where we were on top, couldn't capitalise. I think we had one shot on target. Just attacking wise, we didn't offer anything.
They only had one shot on target.
They had one shot on target, yeah. But I just think, and to be honest, at the end, they had to bring on, have almost 4 forwards to try and break us down. Defensively,
at the end of the game, they had Cavani, Ronaldo, Martial, and Rashford on the pitch.
Yeah.
To go and get it. And it might, you know what? Again, it might have been offside. But the fact that they didn't even go to VAR and go, look, no, it's fine, it's onside. Yeah. That's all you want to see. Because if they've done that and gone, look, it's onside, and they've drawn the lines,
you think as it's such a tight game, and it was the 93rd minute as well. You think
we had a goal disallowed against Brighton when Antonio was offside and didn't touch the ball when he was on the line. It went in.
Exactly.
And we had
makes a really good point,
3 or 4 minutes of VAR looks at it from different angles to decide if it was onside or not.
Yeah.
Didn't even look.
Marcus makes a great point. It took 4 forwards, multi-million so-called talent to outdo us. Fuming decision that it was not offside. It was not, but the commentary was always saying they were punching above their weight. Move on. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not going to slag off the back line. I thought Areola, Zouma, Dawson all played well, but midfield not good enough. Antonio offered very little. I think Antonio was basically marshalled out the game. I just think they know, I just think he didn't offer enough. I thought Zouma came back and was a colossus. I think probably man of the match for us, him and Areola. Probably man of the match, I'd say, for either of them. Obviously, Soufal wasn't his best game for us. We know that. And obviously, Ryan Fredericks replaced him. Cresswell was very quiet. I thought not much happened down the left-hand side at all. Clearly, Man United had prioritised their left-hand side, like our right-hand side, for all of the attacking. I can't remember much going Cresswell's way, to be honest. But very poor. Why didn't they show up the VAR? We don't know, Luke. We don't know, Long. We don't know because the referees don't have to. I mean, Moyes is going to be fuming at that decision.
Yeah. I mean, look, it could well be that they do match their day later or soccer Saturday, and they go, "No, look, it was onside. Here's the VAR."
I think we would say fair enough. Yeah,
do it, show it, do it at the time. They should be. If you can spend 5 minutes in a game, what we had the other day, like deciding whether a goal's onside or not, then you should be doing it every game.
But you could, but it was like they were. I mean, towards the end, United were cranking that. Well, I think to us, both sides could have got a goal. To be honest, we should have got a goal just before that from the corner. But they were, and again, it does question, squad depth, squad quality. I mean, look at who they brought on, for example, compared to we brought on Ryan Fredericks. They brought on Cavani, Rashford, and Martial. 3, attacking options who would easily go into most sides in the Premier League. It might force Moyes' hand, but I don't know. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the transfer market, we now have a 2-week gap now until our next game, which is Kidderminster in the FA Cup. The frustrating thing is, I think that game was made for someone like Ben Rama. Because it was so, particularly the second half, it was so stretched. I think Benny would have at least offered something in, but I think, I don't know. It's really pissed me off, that game yesterday. I was quite happy. I had all my things sorted out. I had all my thumbnails, respect the point. No. Thank you, West Ham. Need a striker. We've needed a striker about 5 years, Dave, to be honest, mate. If only Frederick didn't head that ball on. Yeah, fair. Yes, because the ball came along and
someone was down the line anyway, so it might have just gone straight to Cavani. But I think his job's to stop the ball going somewhere. He did. He made sure it didn't go straight past him. But as I said, it might have been onside. Might have been. It was more the fact that we didn't just kick it. I don't know who it was. It was like, was it Fornals or Lanzini tried to play it into Bowen?
Yeah.
And overhit it, and then went straight down the other end.
Yeah.
And he should have just played it down to the corner flag.
Yeah.
Because if he'd have kicked that out for a throw in at the corner flag, they wouldn't have had the time to get back up the pitch, score.
Very true. And I mean, also, but it comes to a point where, it makes it, why, for example, why isn't Moyes using subs to waste time? It came to the 93rd minute, literally the last kick of the game, proper, you think, a 0-0 at Old Trafford, you'd have taken that. You'd have maybe taken off Antonio, thrown on Yarmolenko for a minute at the end. Or maybe Moyes was still going for the game. He was still chasing it, still chasing that point. We'd criticise Moyes in both. We'd criticise Moyes if he'd taken off Antonio for Yarmolenko and tried to see out the game for 0-0. He's not showing enough ambition. He's not. Now he doesn't make subs. He's like, why don't we make subs? He's like, and so it's just he's in a no-win situation, in my opinion. Another late goal. Obviously, Lingard, wasn't it? Lingard at London Stadium was a late goal as well. Happens.
So someone put on Twitter. All you need to know is that if we scored that goal, it would have been offside.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's the difference. Their bench is much stronger than ours. I think literally that was the difference.
Yeah.
That was the difference. And the last 2 games have shown, that Leeds game and this game, that our squad depth in terms of quality isn't up there. And so, United, and they didn't have Sancho. They had players that they didn't have already, available. And they still had a squad like that. It was impressive, their squad, to be honest. Agree, Benrahma could have made difference. He could, but we didn't have him, and we might not have had him anyway. So we can move on with that one. But I know what you mean. VAR plus greedy 6 equals business as usual. They don't want another team part of that mix. Definitely the striker. There we go. Was it with late goals? Well, there is. I mean, it comes to a point fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. And it's happened a few times now. Late goals, whether it is us switching off or settling into the game at the end, I don't know. But it was just like, it's happened a few times where it's become a habit, isn't it? That last couple of minutes, conceding a goal. We look at the Crystal Palace game as well, where we were, conceding some very late goals and almost drew the game, almost lost the game, really, to be fair, the way they were playing. I don't know, Christian, why they didn't show the VAR. No idea. That was the very least West Ham deserve a VAR check. Indeed, David, seeing it a 0-0 draw on crucially stage of the game, disgusting. That's what I don't understand, because it was the last kick of the game. You think they would have made sure to put a VAR check in, just to make sure.
I think they've done a VAR check and they wiggled it out and they're like, he's onside, whatever.
Yeah,
that's what was annoying more than anything, is that they didn't even do it.
Thing, because we're sitting here now.
They just went out to go, yeah, it's fine.
We're stewing, and I guarantee there's. You're on Twitter. There's loads of people stewing on Twitter.
It's probably onside. There's probably some way that he's worked out onside.
Probably is, and they probably did a quick VAR check, but it was
show the fans. That's what it is. Show the fans what it is. Like you said, at the end of the day, they've had to bring on Cavani, who's been a world-class centre forward for years. They brought on Rashford, Golden Boy. They brought on £50 million Martial.
Yeah.
They had to go 4 up front to go and get the goal, and maybe it's onside. Maybe it is. The thing for me is they didn't show it.
Yeah, that's the frustration.
The thing for me would be that if that was us, it wouldn't have been given.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole game was poor, wasn't it? The whole game, in both sides, I think it was a poor game. West Ham in the
I'm just hoping that we have got 3 players coming in, because we need 2 attackers. Defensively, as soon as Zouma come back in today, we didn't look anywhere near as shaky.
Defensively, we look very strong. I think Areola, again, I think he played well. They clearly have they're very confident with Areola, because there were several times where they gave a back pass to him, which they probably would have given to Fabianski, and he was enough to handle it. So made a couple of good saves as well. No fault of the goal at all. I thought he had a very solid game. I thought Zouma, considering he'd been out for so long, had come in and just made a massive difference. Dawson, shaky at start, grew into the game a little bit, I thought. Cresswell didn't really do much at all, wrong, but he didn't really do much at all. I think he looked a little bit leggy between us. Soufal obviously wasn't very good, but he knew that himself by putting his hand up every time he did. He literally had his hand up probably the whole game, apologising for his poor passing. Same as last season. 4th is in our hands, and Moyes picking us and endeavouring has cost us points. He's blowing our last season chance of getting Champions League and keeping Rice. David. I agree with part of that, but also I think now in terms of how it was all going to work, I think with transfers and stuff like that, I honestly don't think anything was going to happen for anyone really substantially until after today, until after this match round, because now they've got 2 weeks. The players can have a little rest as well. They've had a lot of games coming. They have had a lot of games recently. They have a rest. Obviously, the South American, Central American players, they're out playing if they're selected for the national side, and they can have a rest. They can work on stuff, and they can look at bringing players in. And even the next game in is Kidderminster, so you wouldn't expect a full strongest 11 against Kidderminster. So, so that gives you a bit more time to blood players in. That's what it is. It's blooding the players in. It's not necessarily getting them in, but it's getting them at the right time. I'm just still shocked in VAR. That I just can't believe it, to be honest. I just can't believe it. To be perfectly fair, if that's the proof that we need more strikers, that is it. I think to be honest, mate, we've had the proof for a long time. To be honest, David, and this is Moyes'.
As I said earlier,
He's fifth.
Moyes' argument of we don't want to buy him for the sake of buying him. We only want to buy people that are better. Well, if you don't have anything, surely anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
So if you don't think he can do the job Antonio does, and he's different, but if he's a centre forward, he's a centre forward. Because like today, you probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go, you probably take Antonio off.
Yeah, if you had like
he made that exact comment against Leeds.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I haven't got another centre forward, so I couldn't take him off. Well, go get one.
Yeah.
And don't tell me there's no one good enough, because anyone that's played top level football somewhere or championship level football is going to be better than nothing.
Yeah.
I think Antonio's going to be hitting 30 games for the season soon, and that's about what he normally plays.
That's pretty much yeah.
And we've still got about half the season left, just under half the season left.
Yeah. Well, it means now. I mean, we've got now. So let's not include the Kidderminster game. So the next game is Watford on the Tuesday, so the 8th of Feb. So now we've got 3 weeks. Yeah, 1 week, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. No, 3. Almost 4 weeks. What? For a Premier League game, so 29th, that's 1 week, 2 weeks. No, we've got 2.5 weeks basically. 2.5 weeks until our next Premier League game.
The next game's Kidderminster.
Yeah, but I'm ignoring Kidderminster because we won't put out a full. Yeah, because you won't put out a full. We'll have a good team, but not a full squad.
2.5 weeks. Yeah,
2.5 weeks to the Watford game, and probably Watford might have about 3 different managers by then. That's the only trouble. Because typically Ranieri will probably be sacked by then, and then they'll have someone in. So then they'll have the boost, the bounce. So they'll turn out they'll be like world beaters that day. I guarantee it. That Tuesday night, we'll have the light show. It'll be all great. Anton's down, I think, as well for that. They've showed lines somewhere, and he's on side on one of the shows. So,
well, I mean, Paddy Power just put their one up, and I've just sent it to you. Look, that line goes through him. He's offside.
Checking offside, and he's gone round his head. I love it.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. That's so funny. If anyone sees it, I don't know if you can see it very clearly, but the line's literally.
That's what Paddy Power put up. So they drove round him because they showed you a picture. Someone else sent you a picture, and they said the problem is they are done it on the wrong camera angle.
Yeah.
When you do it on the right camera angle, you can see down the line, and you can see he's offside.
Yeah, I mean it's frustrating because you have so many. It's after the Leeds game. I mean, the performance. I mean, if we'd come away with a 0-0 draw, had been an exciting game, but we were defensively strong. We'd been all like fair. Yeah, respect the point. But it was that last minute. Yeah, just got us. Can we retrospectively dispute that non-goal? No, we can't. No. Unfortunately, shows how bad VAR is when
we had it.
Even Mark Lawrenson has said. Even Mark Lawrenson has said it's offside. There we go. And he hates us.
When Lawrenson says it, like he doesn't give West Ham anything. As I said, we had it in December when they were like, "Oh, sorry, you should have had a penalty." They come out, didn't they? They said, "Oh, sorry, you should have had the penalty at Burnley. The goal against Brighton shouldn't have been disallowed."
Yeah.
Well, that's 4 points.
Yeah.
Then you've had one day's another. It's 5. We should be 5 points higher up the league because VAR just something that's supposed to be a backup to get it done properly isn't doing its job properly. And you know what though? Again, as I said, if he's offside, right? I've got no issue with it because he's offside. The issue I've got is that the amount of times we've sat in that stadium, and I'd sit there for 3-4 minutes, waiting for him to give a decision,
and they literally go through like every possibility. I remember the goal. I can't remember which one it was, but they literally it was 3 different VAR checks on the goal. One was the offside.
Man United, mate. Here you go. Was it last week?
Yeah.
Man United against Villa.
Yeah.
Villa scored with a tap in, and they took 3 minutes and 45 seconds to give a foul on Cavani. They spent 3 minutes checking offside decisions from different angles and different players. And then they went, I know it's a foul on Cavani now because the player running in blocks Cavani from doing his defensive duties when the guy literally was standing there before the free kick was taken, didn't move an ounce, just stood there and Cavani ran into him. Yeah. That took 4 minutes to decide it. And they didn't show us a replay. If they showed one replay and went, no, sorry, look, there's a line that's onside, then you know what? It is what it is. Yeah. I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing the fact they haven't even done it. That's what everyone's saying about VAR is that if we'd have scored that goal, there'd have been 4 minutes of VAR checks from about 20 different camera angles to go whether it was onside or not.
Yeah.
That's the issue for me is that they haven't done it because it's a big 16. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
When to the naked eye on the first angle, it's offside.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because it's such a tight decision, and so had so much behind it. You think, just do it, just do it. Oh dear. Let me work in the. Frank wants to work in the VAR machine in the VAR room. Very gutted. We move on. Exactly 2-week break. Played well once again. Got out coached as a fan. Knew Sufal was going to be targeted. I totally agree. More chance of doing well in Champions League than us. Doesn't matter. We're going to be in Europa League anyway, so we'll be in the Champions League anyway. So there's no worry about that. It shouldn't have gone to VAR. If we'd kept possession and not hoofed it up every time, we shouldn't be looking at VAR. Exactly.
Well, as I said, they should have been. Well, the problem is they tried. That was the problem. They tried to keep it.
Yeah.
And they missed. They didn't play the pass into Bowen. They overhit the pass, and then they played it long and got in. If they'd have actually hoofed it up to the corner flag,
wouldn't have been a problem.
There wouldn't have been enough time.
Yeah.
There was about 15 seconds left on the clock when that ball went in.
Yeah. And if they had if Moyes had gone for a little bit of a cheeky last minute, just go in and see what happens, and put a few subs in, then Flo should be all right now. Sorry, her Flo's Roblox site thing's gone down. But anyway, but yeah, it's just frustrating, very frustrating.
And that's the only real chance in the game.
Yeah.
That's the only real talking point, because the rest of the game was absolutely naff. There was
the rest of the game was naff. Yeah.
It was like 2 shots on target.
There's nothing to talk about the rest of the game. It really wasn't. It was just very poor. Needs to improve his head-to-head duels. Well, I mean, he hasn't. I think it's his 65th game at the greedy 6 away from home. He hasn't won.
No,
he hasn't won. Which is the frustrating thing, because usually it's the other way around in West Ham. Usually these are types of games we usually pick stuff up at, and when we lose to like Burnley away or Burnley at home, we sort of changed recently, and but obviously not with Leeds and stuff like that last week. But very, very disappointing. Every manager would have wasted time. So I mean, it's like 93 minutes. You would have thought, but again, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If we took off Antonio in the 90th minute and brought on Yarmolenko, people go, oh, well, we're just going for the draw now. He's not, so he was in no man's land, to be honest. Really poor subs and game management by Moyes. Should have brought Vlasic or Lanzini on and maybe Noble for Krul to kill time. Yeah, I totally agree. I really want to know how Vita drops up, moves, he gets a free kick. Oh, I don't know. It's ridiculous how much free kicks. Moyes outplayed tactically by Ranier. He bought 3 tackers when we didn't make any chance. Well, to be honest, I don't think we had the option. We had Vlasic as an option, but we had literally defenders on the bench. There was no Okaflex. There was no various others. You know what I mean? So it was very much a pretty boring bench. There was no real game changers, no real something a bit different. Just a very disappointing
game. That's the problem.
We need players in. Yep, we need players in. We need bodies, and we need them. Quickly. We need them quickly. Very similar to sort of how it all worked with Man United, with West Ham last year around the transfer window, just before Jesse. We need, it was sort of a bit like, meh, and we needed a bit of a boost. We need a bit of a boost, that's for sure. I just don't really know what to say. Really, it was not really much to say. I don't know.
That's it. Look, and at the end of the day, I want to. We've been getting annoyed, but I want to say I'm not moaning about the goal, because if the goal's a goal,
fair enough.
It's a goal. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's not like. Yeah, we're sitting and watching the TV screen. What we're annoyed about, and bearing in mind we're not watching. The thing is, and I would argue this as well, is if that was on Sky, you probably would have seen some sort of replays. They would have VR would have gone, or Sky would have given you their own replays.
Yes.
The issue was it's foreign streams.
Yes.
And a lot of them are just like, you know what? Once the game's done, bin it off and go to the next one.
Move on, because Southampton, Man City's
if he's onside, he's onside. But it's just we didn't see it, and
we haven't seen it.
The frustration for the non-big 6 teams like West Ham and Leicester is like, full well, had we scored that goal, they would have been. No, can't block, because they didn't even show a replay. I mean, apparently they've been showing replays now that he might be onside. Fine, but they've not come out till after the game, and that's my aggro at the moment. Is that why is it when we score a goal, we can't, you can't celebrate yet. We can't kick off yet. We've got to wait 3 minutes for a replay.
Mm.
Whereas this, they've now convened. And the problem is, I've seen different angles, and different angles of this camera show he's onside or he's off. Like, that's the problem. I've got so many people put pictures up on Twitter saying, look, he's offside, oh, he's onside, he's offside. And there's like 3 or 4 different camera angles. Depending on the angle, he's off or on. But you know what? As we said, at the end of the day, it comes down to the lack of bodies. Man United brought on Rashford, Cavani, and Martial to go for the win.
Yeah.
We brought on Ryan Fredericks.
Very true. To to answer Ross's point, I've ate all the pies. I actually want a pie now. I just want something now to eat. I've ate them, so I do apologise if you've run out of pies, Ross.
We got 2.5 weeks off for the next Premier League game.
Yeah,
2 weeks for the next game in total. Let's get some bodies in. We need some players, and I'm sorry, don't give me this. Don't give me this. There can't be anyone to improve the squad. You've only got one centre forward.
Yeah.
Any centre forward improves what you don't have.
And if
as that sounds, especially in a system where the centre forward isn't expected to score goals.
Yes. No. Yeah.
In the system Moyes plays, Moyes' thing is that you need to be a bit. You got to have decent strength. You can't be bundled about. You got to have a decent amount of height. You always want someone around the 6 foot mark that's got a bit of strength about him, that's got a bit of pace about him, that can hold the ball up and bring players into play. Right. That's why the best 2 strikers Moyes has had at West Ham was Arnautovic and Antonio, neither of which are centre forwards.
No.
Because they've got the height, the strength, the pace combination. So he doesn't even need centre forwards that score goals. If they contribute goals, that's a bonus. We're set up to hold the ball up and bring other players into play.
Yeah.
So get someone in that can do it.
Absolutely,
get someone in.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not even that worried now about a defender. I'm not worried about going and spending 15 million on defender.
No.
If you can get like a kid in for a couple of million from Europe, or because like a lot of European teams do loan to buys because they need money. So if you can get someone from Europe on a loan to buy for whatever. The difference between the defence between the Leeds game and the game today, because of Zouma, was levels above just because Zouma's come back in.
There he is, prawn sandwich man.
Gutting.
Oh.
Gutting. I mean, I've not seen the replays, but I mean, there's two big things for me. There was a ball played that De Gea said he kept in, but it looked like it had gone well out.
Yeah.
And then the second thing was it offside? I've not seen the replay.
Well, mate, I've put a couple of pictures up on the group chat, and apparently it's on. But I mean, it depends on the angles. I said it depends on the angles you look at. The reason we've started getting frustrated though is that on the streams they never showed it. They literally scored and the ref put up for full time.
That's been released by the Premier League.
But even then,
been released by Premier League,
right?
So
I don't understand.
Anton's gone.
What I don't understand in that picture, if you want to bring it back up, right?
Yeah.
Is that so for me? And this is one thing I've never understood. Right? For a line, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a player and you've got your foot, and they drew that big thick line, the line should finish at the end of the foot. It shouldn't start at the end of the foot, because that adds on additional inches to the line. And I don't understand how the green line finishes further backwards on that picture than Cavani's shoulder.
No, I don't understand it.
Like,
I don't know.
That line doesn't go straight down because that line is it's like the line's slanted because his shoulder starts here and then the line finishes like here.
I know. This is what Declan Rice says. So Declan Rice said after the game, I think a draw was a fair result. But to be naive like that and give away a goal in the last 20 seconds is devastating. When they're pushing players forward, we are such a counter-attacking side. We still had the energy to go forward. It was a real kick in the teeth to concede that late. We're still up there and still competing, but we knew how big today was. We were much more compact than against Leeds, fairer play, than last week, but we didn't have that cutting edge. We all come back and be ready for that next one to push on again. There we go. Our captain has spoken. Oh,
and
dear.
look, it was naive, and that is the problem. And
I mean, it was naive, and I think it gets to a point now where it's happened a few too many times for my liking now.
Sorry, I've just got soccer Saturday on. I've got in the background, and there seems to be a 22-man bundle at the end of the game right now between Wolves and Wolves and Brentford.
They've gone through. Wolves went up 3-1, I think, isn't it? Oh dear. Well, Alan Shearer has come out and said all four of us in the office thought it was going to be given offside. In the image we saw that was frozen, Cavani looked offside. It will be tough to take. Oh, actually, I was surprised. Traore's goal has been ruled off for offside. There we go. It will be tough to take for West Ham when they worked so hard.
What's the Brentford manager's name?
I don't know. It's not the first. It might be the last time Man United will do that.
Game.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Look, it's. Did we deserve to win? Don't get me wrong. This isn't like because we did not deserve to win in the slightest.
No, we didn't. No, not at all. Not at all.
It had the frustrating thing, and that's what it is. Right. It's frustration was that it had 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah.
But Man United still
had that killer instinct. They had that killer instinct.
Strength on the bench.
Yeah.
You know, you brought on Rashford, Cavani, and Martial.
Yep.
And like you said, they usually went 4 up front.
Yeah.
Maybe again, this is like Moyes, maybe naivety. 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go, when they've got 4 up front, surely you put someone else in the back line.
Yeah,
put Diop on, put Masuaku on, one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe put Masuaku on a left back and just tuck it into a back 5 and put Creswell as a left centre back. Maybe put Diop on the left hand side inside.
I thought they would have gone to 3 at the back. To be honest, I don't know why. I just had that feeling.
Go for a flat back 5 to match up against Man United's front flat 4.
4, yeah.
But look,
I
always thought we were pushing the top 6 and top 4 was a sneak.
That's same as me. I thought 6 is where we should be at. And as I said, just win. All we got to do is win the Europa League and we go into Champions League anyway. Who gives a shit about what league position we're in? We'll be in the Champions League anyway. Great shout from Carino. Positives. Zouma back. The defense looked more solid. As a game.
It was day and night if you compare the performance today to the performance against Leeds. It was day and night.
Yeah.
So
you're totally right.
And it gives us a couple of weeks to hopefully get. I want 3 players, and if he wants a defender, he can get a defender. But I want a midfielder and an attacker. Yeah. I mean a centre forward. I'm not even worried. Don't get centre back in because Zuma's just come in and gone.
Yeah, I don't think we need it. I think we've got enough cover there. Man. Right. Well, that's it. I'm not going to talk any more about it.
We're just going around in circles now.
Yeah, it was a Moyes away top 6 performance.
Well, we might have nicked it. And then gave it away in the last 20 seconds. Yeah.
As I said, James, we're unlucky. Our centre backs forced Man United to resort to speculative 25. I mean, they had nothing the whole game. It took them to bring on probably £100 million worth of player. I mean, he says, do you still think Areola stays in the net? I think he does. I don't think Areola offered.
There's nothing you cannot blame Areola.
No, not at all.
For that.
Not at all.
But then again, as we said before the game, before the watch along, the problem is it's 2 weeks, isn't it?
He's got a long gap until that where Fabianski
Moyes might go. You've done all right, but
yeah, and if Fabianski had COVID, he would have been recovered.
He'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but it's Kidderminster.
It'll be interesting to see the Kidderminster game. Who's in goal?
Yeah. Yes, I think
that'll probably tell you.
Yeah, was Moyes' hand? I think Moyes' hand was forced to play Areola in, but then he's played a good game in the same way that when
10 games for Areola now,
something like that. But in the same way that when
6
Soufal
Europa League games, 3 in the cup, because we had City, United, and Spurs. That's 9 games. 6 Europa League games.
Yep.
1 FA Cup game is 10. So this is 11 games.
Yeah. So I mean,
quite potentially, we may end up buying him anyway. I mean, I don't know if he's got the same sort of thing that Dawson had. Dawson was 14 games, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he has. But with Areola, I mean, it's the same thing with Soufal. When Soufal was injured and Moyes' hand was forced to play Ben Johnson, and then he sort of claimed the right back slot. I think he did all right. Yeah, we lost again. We did lose again, mate. We did lose again. And we shouldn't have
I'm not making excuses. Like I said, it was just it looked like it was naive. Look, as the captain himself said, it was naive to lose the game in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah. They've been playing. It was a poor game from both sides. We played poor. They played poor. Neither side had much Probably like maybe one. They had a couple of shots. Ronaldo should have scored in the first half.
Moyes was away from home and was happy with the point, and he'd rolled a comfortable sub to go for the point. And I made the comment at the time: is anyone going to roll the dice and gamble?
They did,
and they took off Fred and put centre forward on. They went to one holding midfielder and one attacking midfielder as their midfield two. Went Ronaldo and Cavani up front, Martial one side, Rashford the other.
Yeah, no, you're right. They went
for a very aggressive front four, and we don't even have the squad to do that. So fair play.
Yeah, fair play to them. Fair play to them. We lost and they won. And in the day, that's what the score sheet will say. That's what they were saying.
The good teams find a way to win.
They find a way to win, and we've won ugly plenty of times this season already, but we haven't played well and put the points up. So, and we didn't play well today. So I think a draw I think a 0-0 would have probably been a fair result.
It looked like it was a 0-0. Both teams didn't play very well, and Man United found a bit of world class quality at the end to somehow.
Yeah. Which is what they had on the bench. So anyway, guys, look, go and have a curry, go and have a pint. Don't worry about it. We've got 2 weeks off to not worry about West Ham. Apart from we've
now got 2 weeks to watch
Russ every single lunchtime, find out who we're signing. Telling you all about the signings and all the rumours. So get used
every single
to it.
Lunchtime, guys. Every lunchtime in the week. Russ will be on his show, telling you who we're buying that day.
Next week, if anyone interested, Governor's coming on. Governor B. Massive, the rapper, and massive, and also we should be getting a couple of ex-Hammers as well, coming on, as well as the West Ham Weekly, all that good stuff. So anyway, guys, obviously we lost 93rd minute, gutted. Move on. Take care.
We're still massive.
We're still massive. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jab appointments. Don't let it ruin your evening. Have a curry. There's more important things sometimes in this world. Anyway, much love. See you later. Bye-bye.
It's like a family tree.